got the big round world. In his hands he's got the wide world. In his hands he's got the whole world.
Marian Anderson was a great contralto operatic singer whose musical career began quite early at a local Baptist church, where she joined the choir at the age of 6 and taught herself how to play the piano during the age of 8 because her parents could not afford for her to take piano lessons. Christine Bright at voicesyahoo.com reminds us that Marian Anderson's 1939 Easter Sunday performance on the steps of Washington, D.C.'s Lincoln Memorial, after being denied entry into Washington, D.C.'s Constitutional Hall, has been immortalized as one of the most famous moments in the civil rights movement. My heart melts with pure, utter joy and adoration as I listen to Marian Anderson's beautiful contralto voice. As I close my eyes and feel her great emotions of love, joy, happiness, and pain, I feel as though an angel is right beside me, serenading me and caressing my heart. How I wish I could have been fortunate enough to see Marian Anderson singing live at Carnegie Hall. Hello everyone, my name is Michele Council, and today I am going to talk to you about Marian Anderson being one of the best contralto operatic singers that ever lived, her life, and her many life's accomplishments. To learn more about Marian Anderson, I will begin by defining a contralto and then talk about her road to stardom and her life's accomplishments. The freedictionary.com tells us that contralto is the lowest female voice or voice part, intermediate in range between soprano and tenor. Bachcantatas.com tells us that Marian Anderson grew up in Philadelphia's Negro Quarter in a single rented room with her parents and 2 sisters. Marian overcame racial and economical boundaries to become a highly acclaimed contralto. IKWPL.org tells us that Marian Anderson was born on February 27, 1897 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. According to English.illinois.edu, at the age of 8, Marian's father purchased a piano from his brother, and so Marian taught herself how to play the piano because her parents could not afford piano lessons. Marian also attempted teaching herself how to play the violin. IKWDPL.org also tells us that tragedy strikes as John Anderson, Marian's father, who was a leader at the Reading Terminal Market, suffered a head wound at work and died soon after. Anna Anderson, Marian's mother, a former teacher in Virginia, along with Marian and her 2 sisters, moved in with John's parents, while Anna found work cleaning, laundering, and scrubbing floors. English.illinois.edu also tells us that Marian Anderson joined the Union Baptist Church Children's Choir at age 6, and the choir director noticed Marian's beautiful voice and her ability to sing all the parts. The choir director selected Marian to sing a duet for Sunday school, and later at the regular service, and this was her first public appearance. Now that we have some facts about Marian Anderson's life and the beginning of her singing career, we will look into her education. IKWDPL.org tells us that Marian Anderson attended William Penn High School and focused on a commercial education to get a job. A musical education becomes available to Marian at South Philadelphia High School. Marian graduates at the age of 18 and applied for admission to a local music school, but was rejected because of her color. Now that we have some facts about Marian Anderson's education, we will look into her accomplishments. According to IKWDLP.org, at the age of 15, Marian begins voice lessons with Mary Saunders Patterson, a prominent black soprano, and after graduation from high school, Marian's principal enabled her to meet Giuseppe Borghetti, and Borghetti was moved to tears when he heard Marian's audition of singing Deep River. Marian's initial invitations to sing grew to actual tours. Marian gave a concert at New York's Town Hall, but unfortunately it was poorly attended and critics found her voice lacking. Marian contemplated abandoning her career choice. Shortly after, Marian won a singing contest through the Philadelphia Philharmonic Society. According to IKWDPL.org, on December 30th, 1928, Marian performed a solo recital at Carnegie Hall. Also on December 30th, 1928, Marian obtained a scholarship through the National Association of Negro Musicians to study in Britain. On December 20th, 1935, Marian appeared for the second time at New York's Town Hall, but this time around it was a great success. Throughout her life, Marian had experienced racism, but the most famous event occurred in 1939 as Sol Hurak, and that's Marian's manager for the rest of her life, tried to rent Washington, D.C.'s Constitutional Hall, the city's foremost center, but was told no dates were available. Washington was segregated, and even the hall had segregated seating. So in 1935, the hall instated a new clause: concert by white artists only. The manager of DC's Constitutional Hall tells Hurak that no Negro will ever appear in this hall while I am manager. The public was outraged. Famous musicians protested, and First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt resigned from the Daughters of the American Revolution, who owned the hall. Eleanor Roosevelt, along with Hurak and Walter White of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, encouraged Secretary of the Interior Harold Ickes to arrange a free open-air concert on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial for Easter Sunday. And on April 9th, Marian sang before 75,000 people and millions of radio listeners. IKWDPL.org tells us that several weeks later, Marian gave a private concert at the White House, where President Franklin D. Roosevelt, was entertaining King George VI and Queen Elizabeth of Britain. President Dwight Eisenhower appointed Marian Anderson as a delegate to the United Nations Human Rights Committee. She sang at his inauguration, as well as John F. Kennedy in 1961. In 1962, she toured Australia, and in 1963, she sang at the March on Washington for Job and Freedom. During Marian's career, she received many awards, including the Spring-On Medal in 1939. And in 1963, President Lyndon B. Johnson awarded her the American Medal of Freedom. In 1977, Congress awarded her a gold medal for what was thought to be her 75th birthday. In 1980, the U.S. Treasury Department coined a half-ounce gold commemorative medal with her likeness. And in 1986, President Ronald Reagan presented her with the National Medal of Arts. IKWDPL.org also tells us that on April 19, 1965, Easter Sunday, Marian gave her final concert at Carnegie Hall, following a year-long farewell tour. Now that you know about Marian Anderson's life, education, musical accomplishments, and being the greatest contralto operetta singer through her many accomplishments of her musical singing career, I will remind you of these facts again. I have given you solid facts pertaining to Marian Anderson's life, her humble beginnings of her musical singing career, her education, along with racial discrimination struggles, and her many singing accomplishments as a contralto operetta singer. I have also spoken with you about Marian's career starting at the Union Baptist Church and expanded with her singing to the United States presidents and the King and Queen of England. Finally, I gave you some information as to why Marian is one of the best contralto operetta singers because of her many singing accomplishments throughout her career. Marian Anderson overcame many obstacles such as economical boundaries, racial hatred, harsh and false criticisms about her singing voice to become one of the greatest contralto operetta singers that ever lived. Thanks for listening, and to all of my classmates, I enjoyed having everyone as my classmates, and to all of my military classmates, thank you for serving. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.